Hi there, this is Rebecca Kirkwood. I am a clean makeup artist based out of New Jersey, and today I'm going to do a fall makeup look for you. So let's get started. I already have on my skin my foundation. This is the KOSAS tinted oil, and concealer, Beauty Counter's creamy concealer. And I've already done my brows with my KOSAS Brow Pop pencil, which I love so much. So those are done for sake of time. Next, I am going to continue on with my face. So first step, I'm going to add a little bronzer, because in the fall it's nice to continue to get our kind of summer glow continuing if we've lost it a little bit. This one is by RMS. I love this cream illuminating bronzer. So I'm using my finger, and let me grab my mirror. I'm just going to rub this directly into my skin. So here we go. And you can see that this is a really good shade for most complexions that are kind of light to medium. And if you have a tan complexion, this will work as a really beautiful tan to dark or deep complexion. This will work as a really beautiful highlight. Okay, popping that on. I'm literally like rubbing this into my skin. I'm blending it in. So that already starts to add a little warmth. And I love this shade. This is the Burriti bronzer. I love this because it's really brown, like it's not orange at all, as you can see. Okay. I'll just take that like around the perimeter of my face. Just use a different finger to blend the edges. Okay, great. Next, I am going to add some blush. This is by Beauty Counter. This is their Cheeky Clean Cream Blush in the shade Truffle. This shade's really beautiful for the fall. It's sort of this like nutmeg cinnamon sort of a shade. Again, I'm using my fingers, swirling it around to warm it up a little bit. And then popping that right on top. And I like the shades to kind of blend. I don't really believe in that like paint by number kind of philosophy where everything has to be in its own separate place on the face. Isn't that shade really pretty? I like the colors to kind of blend. It looks really natural. I'm pumping up the blush a little bit. Okay. Again, I'm using clean fingers to do my blending. You don't want any hard edges or lines or anything like that on your face, right? So always step back, take a look at yourself and make sure everything looks really nicely blended. All right, now let's move on to the eyes. So I already have some of that concealer on my eyelids, and I use that as like a skin prep for my lid, like a primer. And the shadow that I'm gonna use is by ATHR Beauty. So gorgeous. This is their Citrine Crystal Quad. It's perfect for the fall. It's literally like the colors of the trees outside my window that I can see right now. Okay, so I'm going to use a flat brush. This is the BK Beauty 203, and I'm going to go into this kind of bronze shade. And we use a flat brush for shimmery shades so that we can tap that on. So I'm just tapping that across the lid, all the way up to the crease. And you see I'm just tapping it, pressing it in. You can see the colors like really vibrant. This is a very creamy kind of a powder. Okay. And so you just sort of get it straight across. I'm gonna do that quickly on the other side. Now I think this color is like really, really pretty on its own. You can just do like a wash of color. But I'm gonna add a little something to it. So first I'm going to blend the edges of that. So I always use a fluffy blender brush, don't say that 10 times fast, in between my colors because I don't like any hard edges anywhere. So I'm just going in with this fluffy brush. This is the BK Beauty A503. So if you were to use this shade all by itself, this would be kind of your final step. You would just blend the edges really, really well. And you could just walk out the door with a little swipe of mascara and just this one shade on. It's still a really pretty like fall color. I am going to take it to the next level and add this matte shade into the crease. I'm using a crease brush. This is the 202 brush by BK Beauty. I'm swirling that so that you get the powder across the edges of the brush. Okay, now I'm going right into my crease with my eye open, okay? So here we go. Looking at myself in the mirror, and I am just swirling that right into the crease and right above the crease line. Isn't that so pretty? Love it. And it's really similar in shade to the other color that I just used. So it kind of blends into it really naturally anyway. But it's matte, and I like to use matte shades in my crease whenever I can. I mean, isn't that like exactly like the color of the leaves? Well, if you're in New Jersey anyway, that's the color of the leaves. So pretty. Okay, let me get my blender brush. So I'm just knocking off the excess a little bit, and I'm going back in with that fluffy brush and using like little swirling motions. I'm just taking that hard edge right off. You see the difference between this and this? So I'm just taking that edge right off. So there wasn't any color on this brush. I just used it as a clean blending brush. You can also try and use your fingers too, if you don't have one. You can use a clean finger to kind of clean up the edge, like that. Okay. But I love the way that that looks. I'm going to go in with that matte shade, and I'm using this tiny little pencil brush. This is the 207. I'm gonna go in again with the matte shade and go just underneath a little tiny bit. Just sort of connects the look of the top to the bottom. All right, I'm just gonna use my finger to just softly blend that a little bit. I prefer to use shadow to eyeliner most of the time. Okay, so there's my eyeshadow look. Absolutely love the colors, and I think it just goes so perfectly with that truffle shade of the blush, right, and the bronzer together. So I'm going to put a quick swipe of mascara on, and then we'll do a lip. So this is the ILIA Limitless Lash mascara. You guys probably already know that I'm obsessed with this mascara, and you'll see why in just a second. I wiggle the lash line all the way at its base. And of course, I curled my lashes first. Never leave home without a curled lash. Okay, so crazy, right? So pretty. Love this mascara. And that's just with one coat. I'll usually go in with 2 coats. All right. So I'm painting the lash all the way from the base of the lash all the way to the tips. That's how you get that really long length. And let me tap the bottom real quick. Tap, 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 tap. Get fuzz out of my brow. A little bit of mascara goes a long way, and I would put on a second coat most of the time, if I've got the time, if I've got the extra minute. Okay, now let's put a lip on. Okay, so for the lip, I'm using a sheer lipstick by Beauty Counter in shade Raisin. Now I know that a lot of my clients find this shade to be really scary looking because it looks like a dark brown, but because it's a sheer lipstick, I promise you it won't look like really dark on the lip unless you put it on like lots of layers. So I'm just tapping it on really lightly. This is honestly how I like to apply most of my lipsticks anyway. It's a really pretty shade on its own. It's not that dark. It's kind of like a dark nude maybe, but I think it's really beautiful for the fall and it works really well with the colors that I'm wearing right now. Okay, so I'm gonna layer this with a gloss. This is Beauty Counter's Beyond Gloss in shade Spice. This shade is so pretty for the fall. I actually love it all year round. It's basically like my skin tone, my lip color. Just has this like kind of cinnamony spice shade to it. I mean, how gorgeous is that lip color? I mean, I just think it's so pretty and it's really universally flattering. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. Like I think it really works on a lot of lips. So there we go. That is the final fall look. I really love how it turned out. I think the colors really work together. We've got this sort of warm golden shades with the colors that we chose for the cheek and the lip. It just all works together. And honestly, I love being inspired by nature. I'm looking at my window right now and the leaves are orange and red and yellow. And it just makes me feel happy to be able to bring that into my everyday routine. And I think it also works really well with my wardrobe and the shades and the colors that I'm wearing these days. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks so much. Bye.